Commanders fans. Tough way to lose, guys. Tough way to lose. Johnny Newton, keep your head up. You're not the reason why we lost that ball game. You're not the reason why we lost because of, getting duped by the snap count or whatever Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin planned to do. We all knew that they were going to do that. It's just learning experience for him. You got to be ready for that. I mean, everybody knew that. I know Dan Quinn probably told him. Bobby Wagner told him. Frankie. Everybody was like, "Hey, they're going to try to do the snap count, the fake hike to get you off sides." And they clearly did it. And they may have gone for it too because Mike Tomlin knew, every Steelers player or fan knew, if you give the ball back to Jaden Daniels, even if you punt it to the 1 yard line, we just saw what Jaden Houdini did literally 2 weeks ago against the Bears. If you give Jaden, because we're going to have the ball, a minute left in the fourth quarter, I believe, which is more than enough time, even if we got it from the 1 yard line, because all we needed was a field goal. And Zane Gonzalez was doing a darn good job. Both his kicks were not like super far. I think he had a 48-yard kick, which is a pretty darn good kick. And then the other kick was a 40. But they knew if you give the football back to Jaden Houdini, he can make something shake with a minute left or 50 seconds left. He still could have made something happen. I believe that, and we all know that. So that's the biggest part about it, because we know if we would have got the ball back, we probably would have got it at least to – we would have at least got it to where Zane could have kicked a 59-yarder or a 58-yarder. I 100% believe Jaden would have been able to do that. Probably would have been we're getting a woulda, coulda, shoulda. Probably wouldn't have been a Hail Mary, but I think Jaden could have did that. Was it a first down by Zach Ertz? I believe it was a first down. I really do. I thought he got a first down. Even the commentator said it. One commentator was on the negative side and said we didn't get it. I think the other guy was saying that we did. That he thought we did get it because Zach got the ball. If you want, Zach got the ball over the yellow line. He got the football over the yellow line. His leg was over still on the other side. He catches the football. Then he pushes back. Number 23 or whoever from the Steelers tackles him, and he's still drifting forward for the first down. I thought it was a first down personally, but there's so many plays that we can look at and be like, hey, we're not going to just break it down to one play. All I'm is the key is 2 muff punts. We got to get another guy back there, whether it's Eckler or just Terry fielding the punt or Noah fielding the punt. We just need somebody to catch the punt. At this point, I don't care if we get 10, 15 yards on the punt. Just field the punt. That's all we need at this point. I don't want to put Terry back there, but at this point, if that means we're going to field a punt, then do it. Because we can't have 2 muff punts in a game. That just can't happen. This might have been Jaden's first game where he was kind of off, and it's not like he had a bad game, but there were some throws that he did miss. Luke McCaffrey was wide open. He missed them. I feel like there was another play where somebody was open, but he missed them. Zach Ertz with another drop. Zach Ertz has kind of been a little iffy at times. There's been some times where he's dropped passes. That was a big drop by him. Diami had the terrible drop for the touchdown, but we got it back anyway. But Zach Ertz had a pretty big drop there. There were some plays that we definitely could have got back. I feel like there was another missed play that Jaden had for a guy that was open downfield and he missed him. That could have been a pretty large play. I mean, he made some big throws. The Terry to throw the 54-yard pass to Terry was incredible. The pass, he made 2 or 3 passes to Terry that were just awesome. Were awesome throws. The Luke McCaffrey throw down the field for 23 yards was a great play. But there was a couple things that we definitely did that, we left on the field, man. Whether it was a missed pass or a drop pass, a muff punt, there's things that we definitely did to ourselves that hurt us. And that's why I'm not blaming Johnny Newton for one play. That's why I'm not blaming, the Zach Ertz call, even though it was a terrible call. I'm not going to put the whole game on that. George Pickens was ridiculous. He really was, man. He wasn't playing football sometimes. Sometimes he was just out there to fight. That's what it was with him. And honestly, I know they weren't going to throw him out the game, but the play on was it Quan Martin who he tried to beat up Mike Sainristil? There was one time where he tugged Mikey Sainristil after we got a stop on him and they didn't call anything. And they needed a face mask on Ben St. Juste. Of course, they don't call it, but if Ben St. Juste would have did it, they would have called it. They would have threw 6 flags at Ben St. Juste if they could have. But since George Pickens does a face mask, they don't really give a crap. The fact that George Pickens did a freaking leapfrog and then went down and grabbed Ben St. Juste's face mask should have been a penalty in the first place. And they still let it in front of their faces. They just let that happen. Russell Moonball Wilson. That's all he does is moonballs. That's all he does is throw it up in the air, chug it up in the air, and it works. It works. Marshawn Lattimore, I don't know. What's up, man? What's up, man? How's the hammy doing, man? It didn't look good in that video that I saw him at practice. We need you out there, big dog. We traded a 3rd, a 4th, a 6th, or whatever it was to get you here, man. We gave up those picks to get you here. We didn't trade those picks for nothing. We didn't trade them for kicks and giggles. Just because you're Marshawn Lattimore, you got a name for Pro Bowls and an All-Pro and a Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. We didn't trade all those picks for the accolades. We traded it for what you're gonna do on the field. We got a guy named A.J. Brown next week, Devontae Smith, and we need you out there, big fella. You know, and it may not be next week because he looked really gimpy, and that's the concerning thing. I'm not saying we traded for damaged goods or anything like that, but I do believe if we had 100% Marshawn Lattimore, some of those moon balls, some of those Russell Wilson, I'm gonna throw it up in the air and somebody run under and catch it. I don't think those happen on Marshawn Lattimore. That's just my opinion. But he you know, I don't want to rush Marshawn back, but it's like, hey man, you got to get out there. This is why we brought you here. You know, I'm gonna bring you here to be in street clothes and a nice salute to service commander's hoodie and a nice hat. You know, we didn't bring you here to do that. So Quan Martin got beat by Mike Williams on a touchdown. That was a heck of a throw by Russell Wilson. It is. I got to give him his credit for that. That was a great throw by him, and that's his bread and butter, is just throwing that thing up there. The touchdown to George Pickens, he just threw that thing up there. Calvin Austin just threw that thing up there, and they got a first down. So Ben St. Juice, it is what it is. We just know what's going to happen with him. That's why we have Marshawn Lattimore here. And the defense actually did make some plays to get us stops. We got good field position at times. We just weren't able to capitalize. There was a terrible punt by the Steelers. We got it at the 49, still weren't able to make anything out of it. There was a good return by Austin Eckler, still weren't able to make anything out of the possession. So there were some things where the offense has to look themselves in the mirror in this game, and we got to make things happen and get things done, at least get into field goal range. I know the Steelers defense is legit. I got to give them the credit for sure. They hit hard and they tackle. They tackle really, really, really well. Now, T.J. Watt, he didn't get on the stat sheet at all, I believe. Yeah, he had 0 tackles, 0 sacks. That's what we do to defensive ends and edge rushers. We do stuff like that. We don't give up a lot of sacks. Now, they did get pressure. There were a couple times where Jaden had to throw the ball in the dirt because they were getting pressure. And they're a good team. Like Cam Hayward, he had 2 sacks. He had some big-time tackles. Preston Smith got a sack. I got to tip my hat to them. I mean, they made plays when they really needed plays. And our defense made plays. Like Jalen Warren, that forced fumble by Quan Martin, and Jeremy Chin picks it up. That was a big play by those guys on the 1-yard line. And even the guy on TV was trying to be like, they should have blew the whistle. I'm like, nah. Excuse me, sorry, guys. Jalen Warren was trying to move. So it is what it is on that. If he went down, and of course it's not a fumble. But Jaden was... On the day, he was 17 for 34, 202 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 50% from 50% passing, which is not great. But, you know, and then Russell Wilson, 14 for 28, 195 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Team stats, third down conversions, we were 5 for 14. So we weren't our usual selves, and we actually missed on a 4th down. So my bad, y'all. You know, it's that time of year, guys. It's that time of year. But I'm going to wrap it up real quick. Look at my notes here real quick. So Trent Scott did get the start. Ben St. Juice flagged for pass interference in the I think it was the first quarter or second quarter. They called a roughing the passer call on Jeremy Chin. I thought that was awful. I didn't even talk about the Steelers doing the fake punt. And that was the Steelers did a fake punt. I thought that was disrespectful by them, but and I thought the football karma worked out anyway. But that was bad on our part for letting the guy be that wide open. And he dropped the pass. But the fact that Mike Tomlin and their special teams coordinator call that on their, 10-yard line, I thought that was very disrespectful. So they deserve to drop that pass. George Pickens pulled on Mikey Sainristil's helmet. I talked about that earlier. And then after the interception that Jeremy Chin got, he blatantly tackled Mikey Sainristil when he was out of the play. That was ridiculous. All right, guys. Yeah, I really am going to wrap it in like 2 minutes. Zach Ertz had a couple of nice catches on one drive. Luke McCaffrey had one nice catch. I talked about that. Noah Brown forced a pass interference. He made a couple of nice catches on the sideline. Austin Eckler had a good game. He had a couple of touchdown runs. And then Jeremy McNichols had a touchdown run. Dante Fowler played really well. He had a couple sacks today. He's had an all-pro season, Pro Bowl season for sure. And we just got to be better on defense, and we got to clean up the mistakes, guys. So I'm gonna go live tomorrow and talk with you guys. We just got to take one on the chin and be ready for Thursday. We got a late bye week, so injuries are piling up. I know Tyler Biadasz went out. I think he came back in. Andrew Wiley didn't play today. Cornelius Lucas out. Brian Robinson out. So we're not going to blame injuries and stuff like that, and we're not going to blame the refs. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna blame Johnny Newton. We're just gonna look ourselves in the mirror and be better and be ready for Philly on Thursday. So that's all we can do, guys. We've had a heck of a season so far. Keep it going, keep it pushing. We lost to a good team, a good, tough, well-coached team, competitive team, physical team. That's all I can say, guys. That's all I can say. Pick our heads up and move on to the next week. All right, guys. As always, Health Commanders 7-3. Let's see what Philly does to the Cowboys and keep it pushing, guys. Keep it pushing. So, all right, guys, Hells Commanders. Peace.